Alrighty. Well, let's see. Let's pick up where we left off, which I think I had to cut a little short because a storm was coming through my neighborhood. Um, let's see where we are in Project Zomboid. Oh yeah, I'm in a nice 3-story house now, I think, in the rich area in Louisville. I've moved the fridge to the attic. That's certainly something. Oh, and I have how to use generators. I guess if I do ever want to use a generator, now I can. Leaving the TV on, I don't know if that's... I don't know. Might be more advantageous, I think, to just leave the TV off. At least that way you give yourself, presuming every other TV in the area is turned off, that little window to hopefully catch it if you miss it. The life and living broadcasts, that is. Let's see. Looks like I've pretty much claimed this house. Cleaned it up. Okay. Oh. Alright. Collecting some clothes for sheets. Rip sheets and rope ladders. Or sheet ropes. Yeah, same thing. Although rope ladders, I guess, have a higher durability. I've heard that. I can't confirm that, but fancy shoes, eh? I can't remember when this was played, but I feel like at the time the camera was a relatively new item. Just kind of novel. That was kind of neat. Oh yeah. So you can walk right through it when it's closed, but you have to hop over it when it's open. But you can just walk through it when it's closed. Yeah, I remember being uh, more than a little. I guess just I found that silly. Nope. Okay, collecting everything in the house. Might as well put it all together, right? Take everything upstairs, make it safe. Okay. Just checking all of the rooms. Very thorough. It must have been a while since I'd last played. I feel like I would have had a more ready grasp of where I was and what I was doing. But I definitely seem to be kind of just ambling around the house, getting a feel for things, which, yeah, something to be said for maybe keeping a journal for your characters. That way you can just hop right back in and remember sort of what you were doing and what your goals might have been. Okay, sure. Having that big backpack sure is nice. Mm. Oh yeah, I think this is the bedroom I claim. I'm like, alright, this is the, um, you know, the way in and out, and this is where I will be sleeping. Although I do believe I end up moving a bed all the way up to the top floor, which I guess this is a 4-story house. That's even cooler somehow. Obviously, taller is cooler. I think we all know that about buildings and houses. If you have a 4-story house, of course you're better than your neighbors. That's probably why this person has the 4-story house. Oh, and then what do? You disassemble it? Oh, you have to do the... Right. So there's the platform that I've currently removed the fine wood floor on. That is considered part of the stairs in in every situation. That's always part of the stairs. And so now what? I just need to remove the other ones? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so you can do this. I guess if the hallway were only one tile wide, you could have just removed the one. I mean, and depending on the layout of the hallway, you could just remove that first tile that I had disassembled. But in this case, Yeah, I have to disassemble a couple more. That's right, so I can get to that room no problem, so it's not like I'm losing anything. It'll just be kind of annoying and weird to deal with. But once I remove this third and final tile, it is as safe as having taken out the stairs, except one, you don't need a sledgehammer, and two, you can build wooden floors with no carpentry experience. So you can undo and redo your staircase barrier, the pit trap, at any time, unlike using the sledgehammer to delete the stairs. Because suppose you delete the stairs early in the game, you'd need to have carpentry, I believe it's 6 or even 7, in order to rebuild those stairs, which can take quite a while to get, depending on if you have the carpentry books. Actually, well, depending on if you have all, I mean, you need 1, 2, and 3 to get there pretty quick. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm pretty sure it is carpentry 7, so you need a very complete carpentry set, and you'd still have to do all the work to get it. I mean, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I feel like that's something like 75, then 150, then 300, then 750, then 1500, then 3000, and then what is it, 7500 for that last one. So that's like 14,000 experience you'd have to accrue. Even with the books, that's still a large number of beds and bookcases and all the like that you're disassembling, just to be able to put those stairs back that you deleted. Whereas if you just remove the top tile or tiles of a staircase, which you can do with a hammer, I mean, you can do that at any time. You do need a crowbar to remove the flooring first, so I guess it is still, you do still need a specific tools. But they're much more common than a sledgehammer, so I'd say that's probably the way to go. Just put the radio anywhere, man. What are you doing? Oh yeah, and radios used to block tiles, so that was... Yeah, I guess this must have been a while ago. This must be a bit of an older playthrough. Make sure you get that automated emergency broadcasting service in there, and make sure it's on the right channel, not the unknown frequency, which is an interesting one to listen to, but won't tell you about a helicopter coming. And obviously also this is the coolest survivor I've ever had. Look at his hair and his glasses and his hat, you can clearly tell. Oh, the rain barrel. It's the one time you get carpentry XP in the evening, I believe. So, but it's also, I think that comes on the day when there is no carpentry broadcast for the noon broadcast. There's just nothing. There's nothing for the noon broadcast except for a commercial. Which commercials reduce, I believe, boredom, and some of them even reduce unhappiness, or maybe that's just some of the pause, some of the other television shows. But commercials are still weirdly of a value. I suppose I could see the logic in that if the world is coming to an end and you turn on the TV and there's a commercial for, Crest toothpaste, you'd be like, well, that's not as bad, you might feel a little better, I guess. I don't know. It still seems silly. I'm off to a good start. I mean, Louisville is very generous. If you can survive for the first, really, if you can just get set up in almost any place and kind of clear out the zombies around you in a 6 to 10 house radius, you've pretty much set yourself up in Louisville for the next little while pretty well. Certainly there are things you can do and things to loot always. But that's the thing about Louisville, is that you don't have to hoard it all together, because it's all, everywhere you go there is something in every direction, and there's not just a little bit of it, there's a ton of it. So even hoarding like one normally would for Project Zomboid just doesn't, it's not as necessary a component of your gameplay. you can just kind of live, you can kind of get your needs as you go. The more I've played Louisville, the more I've kind of reevaluated the way you play the game. It does make it more like The Sims in a number of ways, which is kind of funny. Oh yeah, does this take me down to the next floor? Nope. Okay. I thought I was going to hop down. I think it does just put me in the bedroom directly below me, inside of outside, because of the shape of the house. You would think that it just wouldn't let you sheetrope it, but it will let you put the sheetrope in those weird situations where the window is a bit recessed from the edge of the roof. Yeah, the sheetrope comes into the bedroom. You can see it right there. That's silly. But Louisville is very generous with everything, so it's almost more imperative than in other starting locations that you do come up with some goals for yourself to kind of heighten the gameplay, challenges or something like that. Because Louisville doesn't, it gives you everything right away. As long as you're pretty decent at fighting, and even if you're not, you can do very well in Louisville for quite a while. Again, I don't know, I think this is before, or maybe during this, I can add a sheet there? Oh, not sheet rope, sheet, of course. I think this is before I had the inclination to test or check if radios use more battery power at a louder volume, which would be interesting and true, but I don't believe they do. I think I do that later in this run. That is, I run two of the same radios with 100% battery, and I put them at different volumes to see if they drain any different. And the answer is no, I recall. I guess that's faster than going up the stairs? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Okay, some doing some chores around the house. These are important parts of surviving, everyone. You have to do your chores. You have to keep up on, those things around the house, cleaning, tidying. Otherwise, you'll just end up with a messy home. And I guess my, in my very squirrel style of gameplay, I have to put everything up high and hoard it like a squirrel would in a tree. Here we go. Now I'm going out. What am I doing? Oh, I'm gonna loot. Oh, this house has a fireplace? Oh, I'm looking for books. That's right. I just want to complete my... Yeah, there you go. Look for the books. You didn't check all the books, bro. What am I doing? I am... Well, maybe I'm just, like, going room to room, clearing the first couple of houses near me. That would make sense. Am I looking for anything specific? How to use generators again. Is that the second one? Wow. In a place where you almost certainly... You really don't need a generator. There's plenty of canned food in Louisville. More than the other, I don't know, 6 towns on the map combined, basically. By a wide margin. Oh, and against this long fence is good. This actually is a pretty good base location overall. There are many good base locations, of course, but against that long wooden fence below me, that is a good spot. Limits visibility, and of course zombies can't destroy pre-made fences and walls like that. Wow, this guy had all the guns. Sure. I mean, yeah, at least just move it from the body so that... I'm not big on playing with guns usually. Not like there's anything wrong with it. They have gotten a lot better. The guns are better than ever now. But at least just don't let them go to waste on a zombie corpse and disappear into the void. I mean, if I want that gun later, there it is. Because even if you don't want a gun right now, there might come a time you want a shotgun to, make some noise or just to go have fun with a shotgun, Go to the top of a building and snipe zombies like in the 2004 Dawn of the Dead or something like that. I'm sure there's other movies, that's just the first one that came to my mind. Okay, back home. I guess I wasn't looking for books. I don't know, maybe I just wanted to go out and check the neighborhood. And I guess get tired. I don't know, I did have a half hour to kill in-game. I'm pretty sure I have Restless Sleeper, which I consider just free points. Restless Sleeper, it makes you so you wake up halfway through, but if you combine that with Wakeful, which means that you only need about 6 to 7 hours of sleep a day, you sleep in 2 3-hour shifts. So you sleep for 3 hours, sometimes 4 if you're really tired. And then you wake up, and then in about a half an hour you can go to sleep for the rest of your sleep. So you still only spend, total you spend less than 8 hours sleeping when you combine Wakeful and Restless Sleeper. And breaking the sleep up like that, depending on how tired you are and other factors, can let you kind of get more done in a day a little bit. Or at least breaking up your sleep like that lets you be productive in different parts of the day, and maybe sleep through the darkest part of the night, sleep from 12 to 3 or 1 to 4, and then when it gets light again, you can do, some activities, and then sleep again from, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. or something like that. It just gives you a little more flexible. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to use the corner of the map for notes. Nope. Okay, the water is out. Which doesn't feel that bad in Louisville, because I don't know how many sinks there are, and I'm not going to count, but I'm going to say, 100,000 sinks and bathtubs and toilets in this city. Honestly, 100,000, I don't know, that doesn't even sound like enough. Maybe it is. Oh, and I don't know how to read a calendar. It's the 17th. And it's not 8/17, it's 7/17. I really don't know how to read a calendar. I must have been, I don't know. Waiting to sleep again? No, you're not tired. Well, I organized everything and then I slept. I think it's time to go out and have some fun. Let's see what past me does here. Oh, I really want to get rid of all of my tiredness. Make sure it is all gone. Because I'm at about, 50, it looks about halfway. It's the bar, let's see, how can I describe that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over from the left. So green bar, yellow bar, blue bar, kind of pale, I don't even know what that is, pale gray bar. And then the sandy yellow. That sandy yellow one is your fatigue. And then to the right of that is your boredom or sadness. And then to the right of that is your sadness or boredom. And then finally you have temperature and calories, which are, honestly, of all the things on the... I should probably customize that. I really don't need to see like my hunger or my thirst on that bar. I pretty much just go off the Moodles for those. I do like using the minimal display bar mod just to see my calories, because it is, you take a break from the game for a while, you come back to the game, and you don't remember, like, say, everything that your character has eaten, but quote-unquote in real life, of course, the survivor would absolutely remember the last several meals that they've had and be able to determine, even if they were not a nutritionist, be able to determine, like, oh man, I need some calories. I've only been eating, got the cooking. I've only been eating, cabbage for a day. Well, cabbage is a bad example in this game, but I've only been eating something very low on calories, so I need a very caloric meal. I feel like a person would of course know that, but sometimes it's very difficult to tell. Not very difficult. If you start losing weight, you would know. But that just, to me, you come back to the game and you start playing it, and you don't know what your survivor has eaten. But your survivor would know the last couple of meals they've had, and maybe even more. I think we can all remember the last few meals we've had and kind of determine, I've had enough, I'm having a steak later today. I think I can go without, lunch, or have a lighter lunch, knowing that I'm going to have a steak dinner or something like that. Oh, the plastic bags. If you see a trunk like that with a bunch of plastic bags in it, almost always that's going to be a trunk filled with groceries. Well, filled. In Project Zomboid terms, a good amount of groceries. Not anything realistic, obviously. An American coming home from the grocery store would have a tremendous amount of groceries. Source, I am an American. I like to back that up with some facts. My trunk is designed to hold food, of course, as an American. That's why you have a trunk, is to fill it with plastic bags full of groceries. That's the only reason. And I do. Chocolate, crackers, yeah, beans, get all that, yeah. Yeah, crackers are a good example of a relatively filling but low calorie food in this game. If you had a whole day of just eating crackers, maybe you wouldn't get hungry that day, because you've been eating crackers, but certainly you would be lower on calories the next day, and you might feel that if you went to do something very exerting. Oh, and the sinks make slightly different sounds when the water is out too. In case you haven't noticed that, it makes kind of a like I don't know how to describe it, but like a garden sprayer kind of hose attachment sound almost, instead of just the clean kind of more high pitched sink water sound that the game uses. So even if you're not paying attention to the availability of the water, because you can always check to see how much is left. And it'll say unlimited if you have, if the water is still on, and otherwise it'll be limited by the number of units of water remaining, which I don't get. If there's no water in the sink and I turn the faucet on, there's no more water that's going to come out if the water pressure is all gone. So I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch how that works, but it works. It's okay. That said, the sound can clue you into if you still have water left or not. So even if you're not paying attention to anything else, you can tell by the sound. Okay, yeah, it's pretty safe around here. It really is not a bad spot. The park in the middle kind of breaks up, even if zombies were going to come from the north or the east into this neighborhood. The park in the middle kind of breaks them up from finding their way to my current safe house. And then the long street that heads west of here, as I recall, that goes to a kind of a semi-major, no, not even semi, it goes to like kind of a neighborhood street, or a little bit bigger than a neighborhood street, that kind of connects a number of neighborhoods together. But it's kind of long and straight, so they'd have to come off of that road and then all the way down it to where the houses are here that I'm going into. Which, I mean, there's no real physical or visual barrier there, but the distance, as I recall, is pretty great. So it still acts, it acts as its own kind of barrier. Just the zombie has to travel farther. Okay. Really tidying up here. A lot. And not even tidying, just going through it. Okay. Sure. Get a little reading in while you listen to the radio. Not bad. Sure. Not too hot, not too cool. Okay. Not today. No air activity today. Right? Yeah. Sometimes I like to go all the way to the 20th minute past the hour. Instead of 9:10, for example, I'd go to 9:20, or if I didn't catch the 9 a.m. one, I'd go to 10:20 or 11:20. Because I know that there have been times when it has done the fzt, bzt, wzt, it's done all of those, and then it has told me air activity detected. I don't know, I mean, it's been a while, and I don't have video of it, but there have been times when it has taken all the way to the 20th minute to say air activity detected, so out of a sense of supreme superstitiousness, I still do that. And yeah, there should be no more broadcasts now that cooking is. It's the 17th. 9 days. 8 days, right? But I believe that on the 17th there's just the cooking, and then there is no more to learn. And honestly, even the cooking, I don't want to dog on cooking too much, but even cooking experience is relatively irrelevant in many situations, because what cooking gives you, high cooking skill gives you, is more food from your food, which you could also accomplish by having more food. So, I mean, allowing you to turn rotten food into food is still just the same as giving you more food, which you can also do by having more food. So it doesn't really, like, if it unlocked cool recipes or unique, like, you could make a pie that made you very, very happy. That would be certainly something. It could replace, antidepressants. It could replace books. It could replace the salad bowl. The use of the salad bowl to constantly kind of be your own antidepressant. And it would also kind of, I feel like, really work with the gameplay, the role play aspect of the gameplay. Bake yourself a really nice pie and you eat it and you're very, very happy. That's true to real life. I love eating delicious pie, and if I made it myself, I would be even happier. It would feel very accomplishing. That looks like I'm taking a break to go get some water, so I'm gonna tell you all to take a break to get some water. But I'm gonna stay here and not get some water because I already got some water. Looks like I want to find maybe where the antique stove is. I didn't look at the map closely there. I believe I know that there's an antique stove in this park that we're kind of looking at on the map right now, sort of that central park in Louisville. Yeah, somewhere around here. There it is. Yeah, it's right there. Go get it. Oh, am I really gonna go get it? Okay. But the upping your cooking skill is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the things that it ends up giving you can be accomplished in a number of other ways. Looting more food, farming food, foraging for food, fishing for food, or trapping for food. And all of those skills do effectively give you more of the fruits of your labor. Which is the same as, it's even more effective than cooking, because I think cooking at max gives you an additional 40% food. Like when you have cooking 10, an item that might give you, say, 100 calories, if you cook it at cooking 10 will give you 140 calories, or maybe it's 150 calories, which is nice. But at trapping 10 or fishing 10, you can catch commensurately so much more fish or trap so much more meat that it's way better than a 50% gain. It's far more than a 50% gain. So again, not to rag on cooking too much. It's just very, it doesn't unlock anything really. It doesn't do anything unique. You just get more of the thing you're already getting from it, which isn't bad, as I've said. And I don't want to sound too circular. It's just not terribly impactful, unfortunately. It's kind of like first aid in a number of ways. Certainly having more first aid, it gives you more information about your wounds, but you can already take care of all of your wounds already anyway. So what does the information mean if you doesn't mean it doesn't impact you as much? Oh, maybe I thought one of them had an axe in their back or something. I don't know why I just stood there. No unhappiness, no boredom. Sometimes getting nice and scared can also have positive effects. Fear is a kind of fun for humans. Obviously, more in the roller coaster and horror movie sense than actually being in a zombie apocalypse. But certainly, fear would get rid of your boredom and maybe some of your sadness too. That one I do kind of question a bit more, but I don't know. The game is the game. I didn't design it, I just enjoy it, and I do enjoy it. Let's see, am I gonna run to it through the park? Oh, hey, wow. Sometimes, hey, I surprise my own self. I really do know this game pretty well. Not to toot my own horn. I know how to read a map. Pretty cool. Oof. Oof. How are you gonna do this, man? Really? You're just gonna go right up to... No, you... What are you doing, dude? Oh, this is spooky. There we go. Okay, yeah, lead him around. You know, give him the old Pied Piper treatment. Lead him out. And then buy yourself, you know, the 10 seconds it takes to pick up the antique stove. Oh, no nimble. That's fine. Honestly, I don't know. Upping your nimble, I know that's very important because it increases your move speed while you're in that fighting stance. But what if you just don't fight as much and aren't in the fighting stance as much? You can move much, much faster. You know, there is no nimble speed, even at nimble 10. The lowest sprinter, that is to say the lowest character with no sprinting levels, will still jog faster than the fastest nimbler. So why don't you just jog instead? Obviously, there's certain times when you just have to fight, but in which case, when you have to fight, does being nimble... Oh my gosh, whew. When you have to fight anyway, and nimble can be helpful... Let me restate this. Most of the time, when you're forced to fight a zombie, it will probably just be one or two... Oh my god. Whew. You can probably manage it such that it's just a couple of zombies. You know, you're trying to clear, say, a house, so it's one or two at a time, or you're... You know, you really want a particular car, and it has that, you know, 5-pack of zombies that can kind of show up on the road surrounding a car. And 5 can still be dangerous. But I'd say that's about the upper limit where, you know, you can attack once, let go of shift, let go of right click, press shift, and jog past the zombie fairly effectively. Nimble is nice. I'm not going to take that away from it, but I definitely don't prioritize it too very highly. And yeah, if you're just fighting, say, 1 or 2 zombies, then nimble has almost no value because you just need to keep hitting them. You know, the more you are hitting them, the better you are doing in those situations. You just need to take a second to freaking kill them. Not to you know, keep scattering back from them. Oh, this one zombie ruins it. I think that was a good window of opportunity there, and that one zombie. Oof. Yeah, that's why I was keeping my hammer in my hand, so that when I go up to the stove, I just immediately start packing it up, rather than putting the hammer in my hand and then starting to pack it up. Whew. Okay. Yeah, sure, close the window. I don't know if that was a valuable use of time, but it wasn't the worst ever. Ooh. Also, I didn't know you could crouch while picking furniture up. I guess I'd never tried that before. I think that was the first time I don't think it does anything here. It's not like you're actually hiding behind the stove, but it feels good. Okay, time to go. And I just have a whole antique stove in my, I guess, left hand in this instance. Yeah. You know, I definitely think, I don't want to get too granular with the game, but I am about to, so here we go. I definitely think if you run on pavement for a long time, in the wrong shoes or in boots or something, you can get foot pain sooner, but if you run in those same shoes on grass, it will be much longer before you get those same foot pains. Or dirt, or, I mean, I guess softer. Yeah, I guess I would just keep it to grass to kind of keep it simpler. And especially, like, I don't know, you can walk on pavement in bare feet fairly well. You shouldn't jog in bare feet on pavement, but you should slow down if you're barefoot on, say, asphalt or, I don't know, just laid dirt or laid rock, because sometimes that could still be, the dirt can have rocks in it, and the rocks themselves are pokey. I don't want the game to get super granular, like a holodeck from Star Trek or something, but certainly some of those simulation aspects I feel like could be quite cool in an annoying way. Oh, I'll get the shovel. Yeah, hey. Nice. I guess there's a perfect example of what I was saying. At no point would Nimble, like, I wanted to kill those 2 zombies. I did. Nimble had nothing to do with that. And otherwise, you can pretty much just avoid fighting almost entirely. Almost entirely. If you are finding yourself having to fight all of the time, I just think that maybe you need to kind of think about how you're approaching the game. If it's more about survival or if it's more about combat for you. What am I doing? Oh, because I put the saw in my hand. Why am I doing this? Do I just need to... Why am I doing this? Oh, I just want some carpentry experience. I'm like so close to the next level. I just want to get the next level up. Let's see. Does this do it? And it does. Okay. Yep. Okay, let's go. Back home. Yeah, go home. Put that survivor back where he came from, or so help me. I guess while we're talking about all of the various skills, electrical 2 kind of suffers from that problem. At electrical 1, you can hotwire cars. Well, electrical 1 and mechanical 2. You can hotwire cars. And then at electrical 3, you can move ovens and certain other electrical appliances. Is it just ovens? You can move specific electrical appliances like ovens. Oh, and washing machines. That was the other one. Clothing dryers. And then at electrical 5, you can power certain items using batteries that couldn't use batteries before. Like I think lights and radios, or is it that you can wire radios into the power sources? I forget. But at electrical 5, you can do one more neat thing, and then that's it, as I recall. There is nothing else with electrical. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 all do nothing. So that's kind of a shame. And I do feel like, I know a number of people have said this, I'm not the only one. If you get to a high enough level of electrical, you should just be able to wire up the generator to your home or wherever your base without needing the How to Use Generators magazine. My uncle's an electrician. I don't think he's ever read a quote-unquote How to Use Generators magazine. Not to say he hasn't, of course, read some education on the topic, but nothing that's like a generators for dummies type thing that you apparently have to read, otherwise you don't know how to set up a generator. And I'm sure he could set up a generator. He's an electrician. Well, he's not anymore. He's retired, but put it down. You can always pick it up later. There's no break chance with antique stoves either, so you can set them down, pick them up, set them down, pick them up. If you want to redesign your base or rearrange your base 30 times, you can absolutely do that. Definitely recommend the antique stove. And you can burn food in it forever, and it will never turn into a fire, which is also quite safe. So even if you forget that steak in the stove, forever, it will never turn into fire, which is not the case for campfires, for barbecues, for propane stoves, for regular ovens, for toaster ovens, for microwaves. It is the case for fireplaces, though. Fireplaces and antique stoves are quite safe. And they also actually provide heat. It's been a while since I checked. I think that the barbecue can provide a little bit of heat around it, but the antique stove provides it in a much wider radius, some 7 or 8 tiles. Have that fresh orange. Followed by orange soda? No, okay. Yeah, and again, while we're piling on the various skills, I definitely think that metalworking should be a part of moving the antique stove. It is a big metal antique stove. And I guess lacking a quote-unquote like home improvement skill, how are you fabricating the ducting into the wall every time? I don't know. Lacking all of that, I guess, just because the antique stove is metal, tie it to the metalworking skill. But it should be gated behind something, because it is such a good piece of equipment to have in this game. It is the safest way to cook. It's the safest way to stay warm. I guess those are the two only. Oh, it's a source of light when the power's all out. It's a very useful thing to have in your home. So I would say even if you needed to get like metalworking 1 or 2 even to be able to use it, that would be great. Because you can also just sleep on metalworking. I hate to say it. Metalworking is really awesome and powerful. It's really great, but the things that it does, like say, barricading your window with metal, that is just a stronger barricade. But all barricades can be broken. It is not invulnerable. And since it's not invulnerable, that means that it's just I mean, if it's not invulnerable, that means it's just temporary. So it's still just a temporary stop to the zombies. It's a better temporary stop, but in that sense, it is the same, quote unquote, as barricading with wood, because it's temporary. It looks like I want to go check out the mall. Bold move, Cotton. Yeah, switch to the better weapon. Shovels are great. Shovels are just freaking wonderful, by the way. People can... Axes are also great. They're a little harder to find, but once you have a good, 4 or 5 axes and a decent axe skill, they are the best, just all around. The fire axe, or I think it's just called axe in this game, is certainly a top tier weapon. The pickaxe, also very good. They're a little less common than the shovel, but the shovel has really good range, and it still swings pretty fast, pretty durable, and it's a tool. So I like having things that on me that let me do a couple things. Like, even though the crowbar is primarily a weapon, it also lets you pick up floor tiles and windows, and with mods you can use it to do other things. But floor tile, actually you can unbarricade things with crowbars in the vanilla game too, which makes complete sense. So you don't have to pull out your hammer to unbarricade a house that has zombies in it, so that then you have to switch back to your weapon to fight the zombie. You can just keep your weapon, the crowbar, in your hand while you unbarricade that survivor house and get those good loots. Let's see. It looks like I want to rest up nice and good before I go to the mall, which is smart. Nope. Leaving at night. No, you know what? It really doesn't matter, though. The power's not out. There's going to be light everywhere as soon as the street lights come on. Four zombies, and the game switches to that scary theme. I don't know what to call this song. I mean, I know it has a name, but I forget what it's called. But immediately switching to that music as soon as you see just a handful of zombies is definitely a bit too much. The ambient music program or whatever, whatever algorithm that they're using to determine that is a little too sensitive. Because I'm not even scared. It should at least just come on when I get to like full terrified or something, or the second state of panic, or if I see a certain number of zombies or something. Am I too hot? No, I'm good. No, maybe not. There we go, going down. Being warm tires you out faster. So if you're going to be going on a long jog, try to set up your temperature right from the start, so that you don't get extra tired as you're going. Or it drains your endurance faster. Shucks, I'd have to double check, but it drains either your endurance or your fatigue a little faster the warmer you are. Which, since fatigue and endurance have they are kind of co-related. Anything that affects one indirectly can and will affect the other. So just let yourself, don't be too warm. Keep yourself in that happy Goldilocks temperature. Fire station. Am I going to try and... No. Yeah. I don't know if I really needed to jump the fence there. That was a lot of endurance just to save, like, 15 seconds of jogging, maybe? Nothing. No. Okay. Yep. Oh, time to go. Just run out. Yep. So in those situations where there's a horde on the other side of it, well, 5 wasn't a horde, don't run using alt, but just jog out past them. Unless you have clumsy, in which case maybe make a more safe egress. But for the most part, for a normal character, and I think I do have clumsy, so I shouldn't have done that, but for a normal character, you can jog through kind of a spat of zombies like that relatively safely. I wouldn't say it's the safest, it's still risky, but usually you can. And in those circumstances where you fall down, usually you'll fall, because they're all facing the door as you come out through it and you're jogging through it. If you fall, you will fall down forward, kind of giving yourself a few more feet, or maybe up to a meter or so, maybe a yard. Giving you a little bit more distance from the zombies, who are all facing the wrong way and then have to turn around to start coming at you, at which point you're already up and moving away again. Really, the worst thing is when you fall down into a crowd of zombies in the direction that they're coming at you, sort of like two trains heading at each other. One leaves St. Louis, blah, blah, blah. That is definitely the situation in which falling down is the absolute worst. If you're falling down in the direction that you're running, which is away from the zombies and there's no other zombies around you, oftentimes you will be able to get up in time and get away, because the zombies are, of course, quite slow. Alright, let's go check out that mall. Or the Finnegan Research Group? Hey, what are those guys up to? Probably no good, since they're zombies, right? Hey, let's go back and look at their... wait, go back to the building. I want to see their corporate symbol again. Is that an eye? No. No, get out. Go, go, go. Oof. Ooh, that was poorly done. I got lucky there, no doubt about it. I should have switched to the passenger seat and gotten out. I'm sorry, is that a candy store called Black Licorice? Is that? I believe it is. That font is hard to read. No, the mall really isn't too far from that base location either, which is, I don't know, that has its ups and its downs, certainly. And I don't know, clearing the mall would be a Sisyphean feat, or a Herculean feat, in that I feel like you just wouldn't ever be able to really kill them all. I'm sure people have, but gosh, what a time crunch. Yeah, there we go. Like that. Lure them to one side of the car, get out on the other. Oh, okay, there's the mall parking lot. Oh yeah, and I highly recommend, you see what I'm doing here, where I'm able to jog while panning the screen? Definitely highly recommend you also hotkey the pan camera function to something like, I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter, but like tab or tilde, or I don't know, a number like 6 or 7 or something, so that you can, while you're jogging, look in the direction of your mouse without having to slow down to the combat stance. Which again is another reason why you really don't need nimble. In my opinion, nimble is a little overrated. Nimble is nice, but it's not the end-all be-all. Now I'm full running. Where am I going? Why am I scared? What am I running from? You're wasting a lot of endurance doing this. Oh, I want a car. Is that what it is? I would like a car. Nope. Nothing good here. Maybe some nails if you want them. But what am I going to build? You don't need to build anything in Louisville. Right. And Louisville really does, in a number of ways, reduce the a lot of the skills to be really less impactful. You just need to be fast on your feet and have a lot of endurance or fitness. Have a lot of fitness. Strength is good for carrying stuff when you need it, and that's, I guess that's essentially all you need for Louisville. You could probably, I mean, I find it annoying, but you could probably be, what is it, Hearty Appetite for the extra points in Louisville, just because there's so much food to eat, especially perishable food at the start, that you can't, I mean, once you get full to bursting, you can't eat anymore. There used to be a time when you could force feed yourself. If you weren't full to bursting yet, and then you queued up a bunch of eat commands, you would just eat all of that even after reaching the full to bursting noodle. So you could force yourself, I called it force feeding, kind of like those poor geese in France for patois, or pate, the liver stuff. You can force yourself to just keep eating, which, I mean, I guess in real life you can force yourself to eat. You are an intelligent, sapient creature who could make decisions. But at a certain point, I don't know, I feel like a human would try to take a bite and just, there would be that involuntary gag reflex that would stop you from eating any further. But you could force, I mean, I don't know, I did it. You could force yourself to eat like 30 full watermelons in a row, or 100 steaks, or just a truly tremendous amount of food. And at no point would you stop until all the food was gone. Oh my gosh, this is bad. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm riling them all up so that I can maybe come back here after they've, left, quote unquote. Or followed me out, right? Yeah. Get them all to come out. That was only, I think, like a quarter of the mall, a quarter of the first floor of the mall, no less. That was nothing. Hey. No. Oh, go. No, okay. Good first foray. Now run home. You're already at, what is that, mild exertion or whatever. You need to take a break. There you go. And when you're sitting in a car, I forget when you're sitting in a car, it's almost as good or is as good as the sit down and rest combo that you can do with chairs. So I highly recommend, kind of when you see that Moodle come up, if you're in a parking lot, even with a bunch of zombies, going from car to car and sitting in the chairs. Even if you only sit there for a few seconds in each seat, moving between car to car, you'll still, you'll gain back more endurance than you spend moving car to car. As you can see here, I don't have the take a break Moodle anymore, the moderate exertion Moodle. And I'm getting a ton of keys, so if I ever wanted to come back here, I don't know, it's just... Actually, the keys don't really matter, though. When am I gonna be able to clear out this whole parking lot? I don't know, I guess it gives me, if I want a specific Franklin, a Franklin station wagon, I have the key for it. I could grab a can of gas and know that if I go back to this parking lot, I can get the car I want. Maybe I couldn't get all of them, but over time I could get one of them at a time. Ooh. Oh, I was wondering if it made it harder to see at night when you have sunglasses on, but I don't believe it does. I believe that, just like J.C. Denton, the survivor's eyes are augmented. The sunglasses are just purely cool. It would be neat if they reduced, I don't know, if they reduced your vision at night, but also during the day, like say days when it's very clear and sunny, no clouds detected today, or whatever the weather call is. If you don't have a hat or don't have glasses, your vision can become, say, blurry from being outside for a while. Because, I don't know, not like I've been outside for, like, in the desert or the Sahara or whatever, but even just here where it's sunny for 10 hours a day in the summer, and you're outside all day and you forget your glasses or you forget your hat, at the end of the day, your eyes hurt from the sun. That is not a smart thing to do. Okay, just going car to car. I mean, getting more cigarettes and matches, lighters, those things are useful for smokers and non-smokers alike. Not the cigarettes necessarily, but the matches and lighter. But even at how light cigarettes are, sometimes I find myself as a non-smoker character grabbing them just to have them. I feel like the roleplay value of, having some wine and a cigarette or something after the apocalypse. I'm not even a smoker, but I guess I could see the value in that in the apocalypse. Like, what, am I gonna go to the doctor if I, like, oh, car alarm. I guess I'm not worried about cancer anymore, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, my precious lungs. I feel like even for non-smokers, the characters in Project Zomboid. They should derive a small amount of enjoyment from the occasional cigarette, perhaps. But that said, just as a role-playing perspective, you know, a nice glass of whiskey and a cigarette or whatever. What am I doing? I want to loot... What am I doing? I want to loot one of the cars? Is it the van here I wanted to loot? I'm not sure. Taking some really weird paths here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I feel like I must be getting very tired. I must have been playing this at the end of the day after work or something. I'm very tired. Oh, hey, drive out of here. I just wanted to find a car, and now I'm gone. There we go. Time to go home. Oh my. Oh my. Oh wow, whatever building this is just south of the mall is also just packed with zombies. Is it like, oh, it must be another shopping center of some kind. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. Okay, bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. And I'm out of there. Okay. Was I really that? I don't feel like I should have hit that zombie. That was weird. Oh. I feel like sometimes I'm a really good driver in this game, and sometimes I hit the stupidest stuff. Just do the stupidest things. Okay. Alright, no, this is... If you only have a little bit of gas... I guess you could maybe pick up an axe or two quickly. No. You're turning around. Very good. I really don't like my truck, apparently. I'm just bashing it on everything. I really wanted to ruin that good-looking truck right away. It was in good condition, too, or it looked like it was in decent condition, anyway. Visually. Yep. Good moves. Okay. Nice and safely done. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, when you're going slow like that, though, and you just hit 1 or 2 zombies, that really doesn't... it does a very minimal amount of damage. It's kind of when you stack zombie hits back to back to back that the damage starts really accumulating. Or I guess if you're moving so slow that they can attack you, or if you're standing at a standstill and they can attack you, that's when the damage starts really stacking. There seems to be some kind of a multiplier that takes over, so that instead of just doing just maybe 1 to 2% at a time, they start doing like 6, 7, 8% of damage at a time. So just hitting 1 or 2. Oh hey, that's the end of the... Okay, well hey, pause that. Finish what I'm saying. That's kind of the worst. That's the worst case for doing damage to your vehicle, is when you hit 5 zombies in a row. I think more than 3 is the magic number, or if you're stuck and a bunch of zombies are attacking you. All that said, hey guys, thanks for if you made it this far. Hey, right on. Whoa. Thanks for listening to me ramble for an hour about Project Zomboid. And have a good day.